The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. This profound statement by Carl Jung holds a tremendous challenge not toward others, but toward ourselves. Fully accepting who we are is a journey filled with fears and doubts, yet it is also the gateway to true inner strength. So, what really happens inside a woman who chooses to remain distant from romantic and sexual relationships? Is it a deep fear of rejection or pain? Or is it a decision born from a rare inner power, a desire for independence from dependence on others? Perhaps it is an escape from inner conflicts or a sincere attempt to search for the self honestly, away from society's pressures and expectations. In a world where everyone rushes toward connection and relationships, choosing abstinence feels like a silent scream that carries many profound psychological layers. In this video, we will dive together into Carl Jung's insights about this deeply psychological decision, uncovering the hidden truth behind abstinence and understanding how this choice can become a turning point, not only in a woman's life, but in her understanding of herself and the building of an inner strength no one can take away. So, let's begin this journey together and explore the depths of a soul that speaks silently, yet carries the cries of transformation. When we speak about abstinence from a psychological perspective, it cannot be reduced merely to a physical decision, or a simple refusal of romantic or sexual relationships. Abstinence, as Carl Jung understood it, is a far deeper journey, an inner voyage of self-discovery, shadow confrontation, and the reconstruction of an identity that transcends societal expectations and the clamor of external desires. In a world that constantly demands women to be connected, defined by their relationships, and measured by their attachments, choosing abstinence becomes a silent form of resistance, a deliberate act of redrawing one's map on the solid ground of newfound awareness. Jung's concept of the shadow, the hidden, often repressed parts of the psyche, takes on profound significance here. Abstinence is not simply turning away from others. It is a rare opportunity for a woman to face those concealed corners within herself that are often buried beneath the noise of social interactions and emotional entanglements. In moments of abstinence, she confronts herself without pretense, embarking on a journey to unearth the shadows carrying fear, vulnerability, past wounds, and perhaps forgotten aspirations. This confrontation, though seemingly harsh, plants the seeds of psychological rebuilding. When a woman steps away from the roles and expectations imposed upon her, she opens a space to reshape her identity, free from the chains of stereotypes and societal beliefs that confine the authentic expression of her true self. Here, abstinence becomes a profound process of psychological empowerment. It grants her an internal independence, one untethered from others or external validation, rooted instead in an honest relationship with herself. This empowerment, in turn, fosters a psychological immunity, shielding her from negative external influences and nurturing confidence in her ability to make free and responsible choices. From Jung's viewpoint, abstinence holds special value as a state of silence and withdrawal. Not necessarily physical isolation, but a mental and spiritual condition allowing the psyche to grow beyond the world's noise and conflicts. In this state, silence becomes the language of self-awareness, and withdrawal, the fertile ground for psychological integration, where the fragmented parts of the self converge into a cohesive whole. That is why Jung urges us to honor moments of solitude and silence, not as empty voids, but as precious spaces for deep growth, leading to the discovery of one's true self and the ability to live in harmony with both shadow and light. Ultimately, abstinence for a woman, as Jung reveals, is far more than a behavioral choice. It is a courageous journey into the depths of the soul toward autonomy, empowerment, and liberation from all that is false and limiting. Choosing abstinence is never a simple or superficial decision. It profoundly transforms how a woman views herself and the world around her. When a woman steps back from the immediate need for romantic or sexual connection, her gaze turns inward, and she begins to see herself not through the lens of external validation or societal expectation, but as a whole, autonomous being. This shift in perspective often leads to a deeper appreciation of her intrinsic worth, independent of any relationship or approval from others. Abstinence becomes a mirror, reflecting her authentic self, unfiltered and unapologetic. It challenges the ingrained narratives that have long defined her identity, allowing her to rewrite her own story from a place of self-respect and clarity. One of the most profound effects of choosing abstinence lies in its power to free a woman from toxic patterns and harmful relationships. By setting this boundary, she establishes a psychological space that protects her from manipulation, emotional dependency, or cycles of pain and disappointment. Abstinence is not an avoidance born of fear, but a deliberate act of self-preservation and healing. It serves as a healthy boundary, a declaration that she will no longer sacrifice her peace or integrity to fit into unhealthy dynamics. This boundary fosters a sense of sovereignty over her own life and emotions, a critical step toward emotional resilience and empowerment. Moreover, abstinence opens a valuable opportunity for self-development and the strengthening of inner resources. Freed from the distractions and complications that often accompany intimate relationships, a woman can redirect her energy toward personal growth, setting new priorities that reflect her evolving values and desires. This period of focus enables her to cultivate skills, passions, and goals that nourish her spirit and build her confidence. In doing so, she rewires her relationship with herself, transforming from someone who seeks validation externally to someone who generates strength and meaning from within. Yet, the path of abstinence is not without its challenges. Feelings of loneliness can surface as the societal norms heavily favor connection and pairing. The pressure to conform, whether from family, friends, or cultural narratives, can weigh heavily, sometimes triggering self-doubt or internal conflict. The struggle between the desire for companionship and the commitment to abstinence can create emotional tension that requires gentle navigation. These challenges, however, are part of the growth process, invitations to deepen self-awareness and emotional maturity. To maintain psychological balance during this transformative phase, practical strategies become essential. Developing self-support mechanisms grounded in self-compassion and mindfulness can help a woman stay anchored amidst emotional fluctuations. Cultivating awareness of her thoughts and feelings without judgment allows her to observe internal struggles with clarity, reducing their power to destabilize her. Engaging in meditative practices, journaling, or reflective exercises fosters a dialogue between her conscious and unconscious selves, promoting integration and peace. Additionally, consciously practicing affirmations that reinforce self-worth and autonomy can counteract societal messaging that may undermine her resolve. Physical activities that connect mind and body, such as yoga or walking in nature, provide grounding and stress relief. Seeking communities or mentors who respect and understand the choice of abstinence offers emotional support and reduces isolation. Ultimately, this journey calls for a delicate balance of patience, courage, and gentle nurturing of the self. In embracing abstinence, a woman embarks on a profound transformation, one that reshapes her relationship with herself, redefines her interactions with others, and cultivates a wellspring of inner strength that sustains her beyond the demands of the external world. It is a courageous reclamation of autonomy, a conscious choice to prioritize mental and emotional well-being, and a powerful step toward living authentically and fully. In the end, it's important to understand that choosing abstinence is far more than a mere physical decision. It is a courageous journey that goes beyond outward appearances and dives deep into the psyche, toward true psychological freedom and solid self-independence. It is a path that demands inner strength and steadfast will to confront one's shadows and societal pressures, yet it grants a rare opportunity for a woman to discover her true self and rebuild her identity, free from all that confines her. As Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." In other words, until you bring your unconscious into awareness, it will control your life while you believe it is fate. So, when you deeply know and accept yourself, no one can control you. You become the master of your own being, empowered with renewed confidence, strength, and self-love. Hold on to this power within you, and walk your path with unwavering resolve. If you found this video inspiring and helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay connected with more profound insights that delve into the depths of the psyche with Carl Jung. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.